teacher who did Foxy. I was a senior.
Cool.
Are you here now?
Actually, a math teacher.
Oh, okay. Are you a math teacher, obviously?
Computer science.
Okay.
Taping the poetry science.
What's that? Oh, nice. You're doing a live.
It isn't live.
Okay. Cool. Well, I know watching this on YouTube. I came to a couple of these lives. Actually, I went to one of these lives.
Yeah, we're combining this robotics with 3D factors in Washington and they actually talked about that last night.
Cool. So how long have you been at...
This is my 4th year.
Okay. Where have you been otherwise?
I was at Parkville for a couple of years. I actually went down to New Mexico.
To Mexico?
To New Mexico.
Because you were in New Mexico, right?
I think basically the year after.
Okay, yeah. How did that go?
Went to the inside.
There's nothing more than love on this stage, especially when you're sharing your story. Alright, so I explained the judges. Now your job as an audience is to basically react to these poems and to what the judges say. So when you hear something in the poem that you like, what do you do? Alright, and if you hear something that you don't like from one of the judges, like say they give a score like a 7 or something. Now what about if these judges come out here and give a poet a wonderful 10? Alright, another thing I want to let you know, you don't just have to snap and say, ooh, when you hear something that you like. On Twitter we have this hashtag HSSL, and you just tweet a line that you like, hashtag HSSL, and let us know what you're thinking about this whole poetry slam. Alright, so, let's see. Alright, so who's ready for the first poet of the first round? Alright, showing much love and coming. Oh yeah, ooh, sorry, bad name. Alright, so, before we have these judges score these poets from the first round, we're going to have somebody come up here and shed a little bit of blood. It's called our sacrificial poet. She's going to come up here, do her thing, and get judged, basically for you guys. Alright, her name is Aaliyah, and she's from Reagan High School. She's coming up. Everybody show some love for Aaliyah. Hey there. Okay.
Hi, I'm Maria. I go to Reagan, and this poem is called Anticipation. I waited for you. I waited for you. I sold my pride for you. I gave you my heart, gave up my life for you. I waited for you. I allowed my mind to be subject to your hands like a lump of fresh clay. I wanted you, my potter, to mold me into condemned perfection. Despite my moral values, somehow I was perfectly fine with being condemned for you. The image of our lust has been burned into my brain. Every time I blink, I see the indentations of your fingertips. Every day, I feel the blisters from scars that won't fade. My body aches for you. My stomach churns at the sound of your voice with disgust. You make me vomit up old habits and agony. I force feelings back into overstuffed drawers that spill over into my thoughts. Our past plays on the forefront of my mind, and it's funny that the memory I wish most to forget is the one that plays the most. You remember last August when I told you I was pregnant, right? When I allowed you to convince me that a 4-week and growing fetus should be slaughtered for a self-loathing martyr, I allowed our baby to be my offering, a sacrifice to a common man known as the king only on the streets. And to be honest, I believe I need an exorcist because the devil inside haunts my waking breath. I have daymares of this paralyzing paranormal activity, but I know Emily Rose, the stench of your cologne makes me wish I could close my eyes, put my heels 3 times, and erase you from my life. I cannot believe I waited for you. I trusted you. I thought you bandaged my wounds and wiped my tears. I thought you patched up the holes of my Titanic like heart and set me afloat. You promised me peace, comfort, and joy, but all that was the foul odor of lies, tobacco, and rotten memories, the weight of overbearing burdens, resentment, and malice. All I wanted was care and respect. I thought you'd add to my life, that maybe we could bring forth fruit and multiply, but you insisted on making me an inequality full of fractions. You subtracted my morals, and when you divided my legs, I gave you permission to make me less than. When I called you my other half, I couldn't see that I was already whole, and now I'm here. Run down and run over, forgotten and overlooked without strength. Joyless. So I will wait. I will wait for my spirit to reawaken, finally lost and create clarity and cloudy. I will see white where I once saw black and call it purity. I will wait patiently, anticipating peace to calm my heavy breath and soothe my soul. I will wait.
My name is Jimmy Green. I'm from Washington High School.
And I'm Terry. I'm from Washington High School too.
And the poem, our title of my poem is called I Don't Discriminate.
Would I be shade?
I said I was mesmerized by the way of her beautiful blue eyes that reminds me of when I look up into the sky.
Would it be irrelevant if I went on and on, rambling on already brown skin was so reflective and portrayed images in my mind so heaven sent?
Would I be optimistic if I ever had dreams of engaging in conversation with the girl who catches dreams, or the girl whose ancestors own casinos such as Potawatomi Lucky? I would be if this dream came into a reality.
How would you take it if I never stopped saying how much I was attracted to the way she pronounced the words in the vocabulary, the way the R's and the language roll off the tip of her tongue? With a smile brighter than the sun today, she thought spicy enchiladas at school for lunch. I don't even like spicy food, but thoughts cross my mind of asking if some exist for conversation.
Would it be deceitful of me if the thoughts running through my mind was of this woman beautiful with short brown eyes as marbles and would I be insane if
Would I be insane if a woman with dreadlocks, as long as the wire that connects the wire? Would I be insane if a woman with dreadlocks that hang down as long as the wire that connects the record board to the crane with the nucleus of my membrane and caught my attention leading me to desire attention after hairlock of perfection deep down her back? Wish I wasn't so nervous to ask her to point on the map to where people originated, Jamaica's where finger was implanted.
only if I can manage to build the courage to plant a smile on her face and bury hopes of love and affection where her heart is rested.
Dream girls who be deep in their bloodline, educated their people's timeline,
not knowing of my beggings and pleadings and cries of wanting women to be my wife. See, I don't discriminate. Thank you.
Everybody give it up for that group piece from Washington. All right, now judges, what you got to say about that poem? All right. 4, waiting on 1. Waiting on 1 judge. All right. From low to high, we have a 7, a 7.3, a 7.3, an 8.4, and an 8.9. Everybody applaud those poets. All right, come in second. Coming up to the stage, we have our whole school, Rufus King.
I feel like a breaker. My name is Taylor, and the name of this poem is Chopped. Spoken word is my passion. It's a need that I have, an obsession, an addiction. It's a hunger that I have. It's beyond love or sex. It's like a sexless love. You see, I crave for the page. You get mental erections. I hit heavenly ovations with subliminal directions. I show interest and affection. Then I seduce these words. Overwhelmed by inspiration, fulfillment meant to be heard. It's oratory ecstasy. Or is it auditory masturbation? Loving what I'm doing with these audio revelations, you see, I'm starving for your attention. Concerning some of the things that I mentioned, I'm relentless in my intention. All of these words are my invention. I'm a junkie for your mind and I'm shooting up all the time. I'm doing dime bags of reason. As I reflect upon my freedom, there's hope in the dope I'm selling. You can cop some on any corner. Once these things get back to normal, uncut, unhit, undiluted, fresh off the boat, unpolluted. You can smoke it, snort it, or shoot it, doesn't matter how you do it. But one drug isn't always enough. Like this poetry, Black love is an uncommon high. Black love is not a commodity, it's a feeling. And it's love for my people I'm dealing. Yes, I'm getting high off my own stash, but you don't have to worry because it multiplies fast. I fertilize it by not forgetting my past, cultivated by making awareness of my past, harvested with real concern for my people and less concern for their cash. Then it's off to the factory to be packaged and wrapped. Mass distribution to the hood, a whole truckload of sacks. I'm high rolling and big balling. My goal is love in every mouth, mind, child, and house. This is the best high there will ever be. And if you're in my presence, you can always get some from me. So put down your guns, pipes, hatreds, colors, and thugs. Stick a hand out. Get a hold of some of this love. Thank you.
We have a 9, we have a 9, a 9.2, and a 9.7. Everybody applaud that for us. All right, coming third in the first round, we got MSL coming to the stage. Everybody
My name is Jalen, and I go to MSL, and the title of my poem is called The Daydream. Head in the clouds where the sun shining bright, which shows me the passage of dreams that hide in luxury sight. A dreamer who spent his days dreaming about that happier day, brought down by obstacles because they standing in my way. Slowly achieving but never reaching my goal, trying to retain the little dignity I have, plus my soul, and yet I'm still cold because my sight is blinded by reality. Dreams are the only thing that keeps me from losing my mentality, the momentum that drives me forward, never looking back, making sure my head stays forward. Power from within feels amazing, but waiting for me to rise will be the end of the people who lost their faith in me. But see, it's too late because I'm at my best. Even through the mess, I'm driven by my imagination, wishing I could live my own creation. And I guess the daydreamer is me, a place to escape when I don't enjoy reality. Daydreaming is a good way to release stress or humiliation, where dreams become big like on your own association. Only limited to the things you can't imagine. It's easy like riding a magic carpet like Aladdin and Princess Jasmine. Always be prepared because anything can happen and you never have to give anyone the satisfaction that your dreams won't come true. So I tell them that I'm gonna make it with or without you. Dreams can last forever if you never stop believing. Dreams can last forever if you never stop believing. People are going to hate because they fail and you're succeeding. So in life, we all play an important role. We just have to make sure that we don't lose our soul.
All right, everybody, let's go for that poll one more time from the All right, judges, I'm ready. Are you? All right, let's see. From low to high, we have a 7.6. We have an 8.5, an 8.7, an 8.8, and an 8.8. Everybody applaud that poet. All right, coming up last in this first round, we got Milwaukee High School of the
my favorite color is pink, like strawberry milk, and roses, and tea parties, and love. I don't really know what that is yet. I know it has to do with my heart. You know the thing shaped like this? Hi again. I'm 5. My favorite color is red, like the Bulls basketball team Jetta likes, and cards on Valentine's Day. That's the day everyone in kindergarten gets shot with a magic arrow by a baby named Cupid. Is he the reason love hurts? How bad? Like skin meat or baby teeth? Does love fall out of people's mouths if they talk too much? Too little? I'm 7, and no longer little. My favorite color is yellow. In art class, I draw a picture of my family and use that color crayon for my mom and the sun and my mom on the same round face at night. She sings to me when it's too dark. I think that's what love is, being scared on purpose to hear someone's voice. Age 10. My favorite color is white, like school chalk and boys that chase around the playground. That's what love is. And I'll tell you it's a game of tag you cannot win. 11. I don't have a favorite color. 13. Love is an inside joke. I'm the punchline. 14. I like the color black so much, I wish to make it my last name, just like family. Especially when friends seem to turn their backs. With midnight and heartache, unwanted text messages, and verbal abuse, me. Constantly retelling the ghost story of my freshman year first love. You know who you are, age 16. My favorite color is rainbow. Like the flag my best friend waved whenever bullies tried to drown him in a homophobic hate. Promise, God made the earth to never destroy it with his powerful hand. It's holding hands with non-believers and questioning the beliefs without answering. 18. My favorite color is whatever I get in my next tattoo. Love is moving out of your parents' house and going home to wherever you die next with tuition and taxes, forms and degrees, a name you'll never forget. 20, 30, 40, I have too many favorite colors to count now. From the hue of Sunday morning to the peppered gray in my husband's hair, my fridge is decorated with pictures using all of God's crayons. His best work is found in my children's pigment. 50, 60, 70, 80, love is waking up whole, defined by blood donations, car repairs, clouds, slow dances, cotton candy, rotten teeth, missing teeth, baby teeth, strawberry milk, roses, tea parties. 0. I'm 0. My favorite color was life. The best shade came in love. I still don't really know what that is yet, but I know it has to do with my heart. You know the thing shaped like this?
Hi everybody, my name is Ahmad. I'm from King, and the title of my poem is called Victory. Lift every voice and sing till nothing ring. Lift as we break the chains of oppression. We are birds soaring above all obstacles, beating by the winds of inequality. Our voices will not be heard, and we should make them heard. Although this poem references African Americans, I'm not just talking to African Americans. I'm talking to the whites, Boricuas, Mexicanos, Germans, Poles, and every other nationality that has a history of the struggle. So that means our people. Our arms change together because we are equal. When the lights turn off, we are all the same color.
It seems like society has forgotten its past. We've been brainwashed with the idea that we are no longer under attack. But in actuality, it's 9/11 again, except we are our own terrorists. Twin Towers are being crashed by planes of ignorance and hate crashing into our Twin Towers. It's all in our past. That's why they say history is never actually historic, because it's the story of the winner. And that's the path that textbooks have taken, because we are no longer heard. So now it's time to rewrite our own history. Let's rip out the pages of the corruption inside of the colonial history right now and become who we are. Let's put the voices that will beat with the whip of the captured innocence and make it our own voice to be heard now. It's time to become one and become society's fighter, so it's time for us to be who we are now. And it's time for us to become one. Until victory is won.
Stop leaving these scars. Everybody applaud that poem one more time. Okay, Deadly. When you have to say, and I'm gonna take it. So from low to high, we had an 8.1, an 8.3, an 8.5, and an 8.7. Everybody applaud that poem. Alright, coming up next in this second round, we got high school art coming back to the stage.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Janiyah Moore. I attend Milwaukee High School of the Arts, and the title of this poem is called Perfection. Staring into the glass mirror of this planet Earth, witchcraft from some villages polluting the earth, curves like Coca-Cola bottles shaping advertisements into those magazines you see, keeping up with body images. It's cutting my skin and the relief bleeds out saying, please, stop. $25 million a year Americans spend on cosmetics. Skin check the plastic breast, they just don't get it. Trying to be perfect. Simple mistakes created hearts that are taken away at last because I just let that machine change into a straight line, thin ice, sacrifices an abortion when we need to abort the simple fact that us human beings are living in a twisted reality. Big booty chicks come out of the magazines, polluted lyrics, glasses, visits into the teenagers' eardrums. Wreck the African original rhythm from him to be a player to she's just another one of his victims, dear mirror of society. Your evil words of sickness painted on a belligerent soul, shifting from heaven to hell of the stories that are told from your shrinking heart. Applying swords to the kill. Your mind is your main weapon, persuading masterpieces into thinking I'm not good enough. I'm not cute enough. And I start to envy you. So, let me be 15 and naive to believe that my parents hated me and supposedly they don't understand the love you have for me. Now, 16 and pregnant on TV, 3 million views a week for a paycheck can be written out to me. Profanity is a new lingo. Sexual games like are your nervous game. What about bingo, gambling, hustling, pants hanging low, half-naked chicks, the girls in hip-hop videos, and that makes you bad in this life, right? I think all the strange clouds around your head that you thought you exhaled, inhaled into your brain to expel, your brain to dream. Societies remain that way to get you brainwashed into their system. You're just a pity victim. Music is a discouragement telling you to walk the wrong way, to drop up out of high school and choose the rap game. Women being labeled as animals, things have got to change because people forgot that the world is poetry. People tell their stories to make other people feel sorry. Life is worth living, not to be crying, inspired by moving on, not to pass people whining. Society has got you selfish, not caring for others. If you see the homeless man, remember he is your brother, but he needs more comfort. And she was a girl, 9 years old, getting raped and thrown away, but she shot out the bullets to the skull and scored the bullets to create an effect. Brandon, smile, live for a while. You're a human being living in a society that's suffering in poverty. So change it.
Alright, she has something to say. Alright, Judges, what do you have to say about that poem? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So from low to high, we have 9.2, a 9.5, a 9.5, a 9.8, and a 10. Coming up last in the second round, we got Washington coming back to the stage. Everybody really excited as I get to the stage? Come on, I want this energy. Come on, you guys.
My name is Elliot Austin, and the title of our poem is Family. Family, I them to death, they can be crazy at times. Doing the most, all of them have certain characteristics that make them that one family member. But let's be realistic, you have them too. That one family member that always invades space, always come in your room like, what you doing? Then you just look at them like, really dude? Come on, man, what if I was naked, walking in without knocking heads on the room? Then they get an attitude when you're kicking them out, mad because you gave super boosts. Then be like, you irritating, I hate you. You just be like, I love you too. Then that one family member with that messed up laugh that makes everyone not laugh, that laugh that sounds like a darn rap when you step on the tail of a cat. Why? The chick crossed the road. Why? Because it was chicken. Hey, that was funny, son. Then it's that one family member with all the money, but no job. I be wondering in my head, like, who did this dude rob? You check your wallet. Damn! That's that one family member that was steal from you and help you look for it. Hey, you see my charger? No, I ain't seen no charger. I ain't take your charger, bro. Gifts. Then there's the alcoholic. Then it's the drunk come in like, boy, you look just like your mama. Got a six-pack and a working vest. Always fall asleep on the couch. Always running their mouth. Get mad when they get too drunk. Then you get the cursing like I said, like, so you gotta kick them out. You gotta go. I built this house, but we live in an apartment. Then it's that one family member that thinks they know everything. Answers is used for everything. How many stars in the sky? Approximately 45. I learned that in junior high back in 29. I swear it is with full information. See, you full of some bull. Then there's the beggar. You got $5 out the world? Don't you work 5 to 9 hours. I would, but the way your bank account is set up, you don't even remember like 6 weeks ago. You had like 3 G's and I asked for $3 and you wouldn't even give it to me. They ain't got the nerve to call me stingy. The audacity of these people. And moms always assuming to come to her own conclusions, even when they're in the wrong. Like this one time, she thought I was on the E's. Turns out I was at poetry practice. And don't let me get on the pops. Can't go out to eat with this man. He's a pure sloppy. He's popcorn like there was some pork chops scuffing down his food like he never ate a day in his life. When he eats, I feel bad for the food. Eating as if he was mad at him. Like, what did that chicken wing ever do to you? I know you can relate. All of these family members have a place in this family, and we love them. Put no one above them. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're coming. Give me a high five.
Like, who heard their mom, dad, uncle, cousin, somebody in their home? Everybody knows that. Alright, judges, what do you have to say about that? We got 3, 4, and 5. From low to high, we have an 8.9. We have a 9.1, a 9.3, a 9.6, and a 9.9. Let's all go forward. My third round, and first in the third round, we got MSL coming back to the stage. Keep it going. Y'all got it.
My name is Sharif Diab. I attend MSL, and the title of this poem is Still Thinking. I was able to examine the brick walls filled with pixel prisms, filled with every last nightmare accumulated in all of yesteryear. I was able to recognize with not only my third eye, but with my seventh sense, turning every single stroke of the memory into a memory that I am short of forgetting waking up. I stared death into its faceless sides, its soulful yet soulless soul, and that's when my brain cell mechanisms went forth into a crazy malfunction. Blinking my eyes, clicking my heels never worked for me, can't you tell? But with all jokes aside, I know I'm aware aware that my stare can't compare to those who seem to be the most intimidating. I am one with myself. Like two universes colliding into a universal eruption filled with colorful epiphanies, my thoughts, my ideas intertwine unlike anything you've ever seen before. They'll blow your freaking minds. Metamorphically maintaining my mentality, I kind of got lost into my own mind trip. But instead of being on a mind trip, I got left behind. I was forgotten. Like if I were to miss my train due to my naive thoughts, and now I write this poem because I kind of miss my train of thoughts. Think about it, because I already have. You know, I try to find ways into thinking that there could ever be a higher being, but the sacred vessels within me tell me otherwise. The sacred vessels. Protected by this natural dark skin, sends blood upstream in my cranium, keeping it healthy, yet nurtured. So don't blame me for my opinions or my beliefs. As a matter of fact, don't blame my circulatory system either, as my evolving mind, body, and soul interacts with everything surrounding me. I learn, I feed, and I grow. And as my learning becomes survival tips for the outside world, I then begin to feed on much more complex and unique forces that can tailor any ordinary African-American hood rat into an educated black man. I repeat, an educated black man, and as though that seems like some type of rare species these days, remember that if everybody learns, feeds, and grows, then maybe we'll all be tailored into higher beings. But until then, every single breath I take will lead me to my last, but I remain focused on the day-to-day tasks, and although my future's bright, I remain focused on the here and the now. Thank you.
The night of poetry becomes the graveyard of the soul. In a cemetery of teen poets who think love at their age is something worth dying for. Where they can't even bury my corpse 6 feet deep because even there, they will always think about you. They said our first kiss was supposed to be in a better place by now. As I walk up to our tombstone with a paper-mache heart I crafted from all the poems I wrote for you, I recite your name like a prayer in the night. I wrap your tears in my rainbow arms like they were hurricane shots of eagle's blood, and then I lay naked with him in the garden of Golgotha, like our sex was a backwards crucifix, if only the Jesus inside us was holy enough to resurrect like penises in the night, like our climax was the ultimate sperm donor for our son trying to give birth to a new day. This morning, I woke up in reverse after crying the sleepy out of my eyes, bleached the bed sheets in hopes that when they were white, they would no longer save a spot for you at night, enslaved my mind to thoughts of suicide and look for freedom in the underground railroad tracks almost cut into my skin, almost overdosing the prescription of my glasses after I thought of seeing you with someone else, tried to guarantee myself that we'll be back together one day, but then I wondered how our love could be as tough as the nails going through the hands of Christ when the nails could put a house or rearrange one into a coffin, how we could drink from the same water we used to walk on and not know it will one day be used to sink a dead body, and I know how it feels to almost die trying to search for the ways for your goodbye. And I know how much ambulance sirens can be synonymous with moans when the testosterone rushed me in the death's hospital room, and his grim reaper almost touched me right, but his kisses weren't toxic enough to poison my tongue's nostalgia of you because I love you, I miss you, I need you, I hate you, and even though I don't want to mean this when I say it, but I hope you die, I hope you choke on your next meal, I hope you come begging to have me back, I hope you wake up in reverse, I hope you pray to God that you won't save a spot for me enough, I hope your wrists bleed for me, I hope you contemplate killing yourself, and this time, plagiarize my suicide note for every time you reread the text messages and fail to realize that I love you, I miss you, I hate you, I need you. Last week, I couldn't stop drinking about you, so the doctors have to poke the butterflies out of my stomach. I told them I was just trying to drink this hate with you out of my melancholy, tried to wake up without mistaking a suicide attempt for a hangover, tried to forget how to wake up with morning sickness, even though it's been over a month since we aborted our Cupid. I just wanted to ejaculate the super glue out of the cracks of my heart, or forgot about the staples the other exes left. I wanted to find the sex so numb I could forget how much I need to feel and love you again. And no, it's not the petty, irrational teenager in me talking, that's the God in me speaking. Because he hears your name too often in my prayers. And he knows I will turn my body into gold with it just so I could die like you again. I attended the funeral of our love today. And since I knew I would start crying if I tried to get up and say a few words about us, I went home and wrote the breakup poem the poet inside me unconsciously promised to you. But I must warn you, I had to vomit the birth onto the paper. So please, call me if you spot any staples attached to your love note. Because you may not know this, but I need them more than you think.
The name of my poem is Rufus. Dear my Rufus, a while ago you made the decision to rape me, and the mind-molesting anomaly is there was no rejection, no opposition. I didn't mind it, at least to say. I'm glad it happened. You see, there can be something so gruesomely beautiful about the situation you name. She never connote evil. Inserting something new, unmeasurable by rule, a scale inside me, giving me that tingling feeling, enticing, feeling all of it like a city, feeling an earthquake, my world was shook, shaking, trembling, going weak at your touch. Roughness never seemed so soft. Like flower petals, I was fragile, delicate, breaking under your weight, weighing me down. I waited, contemplated for the next time that you would come and transform me into something beautiful. Please, paint me with every emotion that you embodied and every desire that you had kept close until I, in your vision of perfection. And then, even then, when I am without mistake, error, or flaw, continue to work on me, please. Never let your papers grow dry, dear Rufus. A while ago, your routine of forcing me to become exposed, vulnerable, and stripped down to absolutely nothing was performed again. And as I screamed down in satisfaction and pain and cried out in hurt and happiness, my heart skipped beats. But this was a track that I wanted to replay over and over again, over and over again. Whoever said chest pains were a bad thing,
causing my knees to buckle and body to convulse, legs to shake like dice in a crap game. I was being manipulated by an unseen force, but I was so willing. Would you believe that I never believed in the unseen until you came around? And would you believe that I got on my knees every single night just to pray to God for the next time that you would come and take a hold of me, take control of me? Who ever knew I could be so submissive? Yes, sir. Do with me as you may. Throw me to the side, but please don't forget where I land. You see, I pray to you constantly, becoming dependent like a baby to its mother. You're the only thing that can satisfy my hunger. Food is not substantial enough to fulfill my appetite. Sometimes I get stomach aches, and those are the times where I long for you the most. Come and fill me up. I'll let down all ancient, decrepit, depression-filled walls and never use protection just so you can have easier access. You see, rapists, I adore you. Every time you grace me with your presence, I say, oh no, angels came without halos. And every time you torture me with your actions, you play Russian roulette with my emotions, I realize I have feelings for you. Rapists, love you, limitlessly. Like space, I'm in hollow shell that desires to be enveloped by your warmth and safeness. I love the butterfly feeling you cause to erupt in my stomach as they dance to this phenomenon. Rapists, you cause my heart to grow 10 times bigger with each encounter in which we make a legendary tune. You cause me to feel things other than my normal. I remember the pinnacle moment in our assault where we made the most masterful melodic music piece this lifetime has ever witnessed. And it caused me to never, ever want to call you rapist again. And so as I finally ask you for your name, I can still hear you saying that your name, that I will forever know you by, was love.
Washington is coming up next to the stage, and let's give it up for him.
See, I've done a lot of growing up, but I still haven't grew out of watching cartoons. See, cartoons stimulates my brain and brings a sense of creativity to a very bland mind. It brings the mind to align with what we thought was preparing, in contrast to reality to a world which is unreal. Cartoons are like a portal to a galaxy with unlimited imagination. When I enter this galaxy, my creativity goes past infinity and beyond, like Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story. This mind portal brings a sense of creativity to a very bland mind. I wish reality was only a pigment of my imagination. I would be with Martians and Parklanders on Earth in a spaceship. And I would do research with Professor Tanya and create my own pop-up girl. Sugar, spice, and everything nice, and chemical X would be the last step. We would save the world. We would save the world, sugar, spice, and everything nice. Cartoons are an escape to a much better place. Many radio news, vivid colors will have been glued to my television. I wish I could jump from a 3-story building, only have enough in my head like Eddie. Life would be dangerous, defying the law of death. I wish I could be flying, defying the law of gravity. I'm serious, so don't laugh at me. Big monsters causing catastrophe will be vanquished. A world where the good always wins, a world where it's fair and just like the Justice League. In the DC comics and magazines I used to read when I was 10 and 3/4, I used to read the pictures, the captions of the pictures, and be captivated by the illustration and patience for the next comic to come to my mailbox. In this world, just fairy godparents to give me whatever I wish for, like those Timmy Turners I would explore as the world to discover like Dora. With the transportation and the school bus, and I used to watch that ever since I was a little brat. I used to watch that ever since I was a little brat. We got other toys played the role of my repertoire. And I used to look in the dirt on the ground to see what a bug's life was like. I just sighed at the sight of what I wish reality was like. I could have a brain as big as Jimmy Neutron's and being Destiny's lab, mixing together electrons and neutrons and protons to create a magical chalk. So I could draw a circle on each side, walk a chalkboard, jump into it, and I went into chalk room. Often fathom of the ideology of the world contrast with real life compact with unreal situations. You follow with unreal resolutions better than the actuality of real life and real life problems. But this world, this dream-bound world that distorts and contorts the duality of normality is unreal. If it's unreal, then unfortunately it's fake, and this fact is known, but it still won't keep me from dreaming on.
Alright, everybody, give it up for that pose one more time. Alright. Judges. What do you got to say about that poem? Alright, so from low to high, we have a 7.2, a 7.9, an 8, an 8.2, and an 8.3. Everybody applaud that poet. Alright. Now we're coming up to the last round. Who's ready for this last round? Alright, so coming up first in this last round, we have High School of the Arts coming up to the stage.
Hello, my name is Rhea Perry. I attend Milwaukee School of the Arts, and the title of this poem is Superwoman. I came across my grandmother's nightly prayers one night, almost interrupted to ask her if I forgot what I had to ask her. Noticed death and angels going to war on her soul with flimsy collarbone. Heard Mary and rap music having a debate about vaginas on the back of her knees, trembling palms, and a voice full of wisdom is only an equation for fear. I wanted to hold her. But after 76 years of having no one to talk to but God and been allergic to affection from a human being, somehow there's one thing the devil's people and God's people must go through in this process. But there's some people that have beat life so many times, even as an adult, they're going to believe that they have superpowers and they can beat this process. My grandmother is the tallest 5'9", strongest spine to tackle this life with the sky on her back, 8 children on her hips, a Bible clenched in her fist, a lullaby in her soul, but she'll never hear it. It'll never escape her tongue. She mastered the art of living enough to know that love gets you nowhere in this life. She does not have a hard shell. She cannot be broken. She's the core of the soil we humans are made of. She is not human. I heard my grandmother say a prayer that sounded like step 11 to rehabilitating the acceptance of death. I just hope the last step tastes like everlasting, because morning never sat well on my taste buds. If my grandmother ever leaves me, suicide and religion will fight with my conscience, and life has a meaning, but life will never have a meaning, and one day my grandmother will leave me. And I wrote my children's name in her obituary. I don't have any children, but I know she'll know them. I need her to help me raise them. Sometimes, after staring her in the eyes, I run in the bathroom and cry until Tinkerbell and Peter Pan take me to a land being the oldest sibling never allowed me to believe in, but I don't know who's more afraid. Because sometimes I catch her reading the Bible with her eyes closed. I think she just wants God to be the last person she touches, because there's too many religions to know if you made it to the guest list. So hold the Bible and make a wish. Then again, her religion defies magic, so where will she end up? Because I heard my grandmother say a prayer last night, and and I know she was a waste of her time. She's been here for 76 years. And there's a chance she will not watch me blossom. And there's nothing more I can do but practice saying, I miss you.
All right, let's give it up for that poetry part. All right, Jimmy. All right, so from low to high, we have a 9.5, a 9.8, a 9.9, a 9.9, and a 10. All right, coming up next to the stage, second in this last round, we got Washington coming back up to the stage.
My name is Jiggy Green. I'm from Washington High School. Watch House. And the title of my poem is called All the Way. So, I'm chilling with my girl, right? And you know, we cruising around town and she flosses her 23-carat necklace. I just bought it the day before. And of course she just as fine as the ticket on the dash with her elegant smile and intriguing eyes flipping up and down every time I told her I loved her. Those hypnotizing lips that always bring me into the days and when all is connected. And the longer there's a her on this earth and there's a me, we never get apart. But tonight, the only thing that's separating us at this moment is that I want to get to know her a little more deeper. And she was focused on laying in her bed and counting sheep. But I guess you could say our minds were in the same place just for the simple fact that we both want to be up in the sheets. But she was playing hard to get. So I decided to loosen her up a little with my friends Hennessy and gin flowing through our system. She was down for whatever and I was bound to get her wetter, so I sipped a little here and there. And she giggled a little here and there, so I'm thinking it's the right time. So I tell her, baby, let's take it there. She said, where? I said, you know. She said, please explain, so I give her a little sample. No. A kiss right on the neck. Now hear me out. My intentions was just as pure as hers, so we decided to take it to the house and I'm cruising. And I'm cruising. And I look over at her and I see her mouth moving, but we're so intoxicated that we can't even get our words out. So she give me that look, she give me that baby bring it here look in me. I was trying to think away of getting her pants down. And I started slowly rubbing and touching her in the thighs with my moist fingers sliding in between the walls of her motherhood. See, I wasn't paying attention to the road. See, I wasn't paying any attention to what was in front of me. I switched over into the next lane and oncoming traffic started with both of us. Confused by the element of surprise, I swerved left, she flew right. Vision blurred by alcohol, I couldn't see, but the one thing I did hear was boom! Car crashed right into the tree. The impact was so hard that we bounced off and flipped over 4 times, rolling into a muddy ditch in me. Panting and incapable of breathing with the steering wheel lodged in my chest, I wiggled and squirmed out of the gravity that's gripping now. All I can think about is you. And I'm saying, where are you? I'm screaming, baby, where are you? With these dagger-sized swords implanted in my arms and my legs, and I'm screaming, baby, where you at? And it was silence. That was the worst silent treatment game ever. But after I noticed the huge hole where the windshield used to be and the blood splattered on the inside of the dashboard, I knew it wasn't no game. And I followed the trails of blood that led me to that gruesome scene, and just for that moment, I wish my vision was still blurred so I couldn't see my baby like that. So I got down on my knees and I tried to resuscitate her. Now hear me out. I never did anything like this before, especially while under such conditions, and I felt her heart beating as I laid on her chest. And And I begged her to stay with me and hold my hand, but that last gasp of air, she released her body, became stiff. And I asked God, like, why? Why didn't you just take me? See, she never deserved it, so I got out my phone and I dialed 911. And I proceeded to call. I thought about it. Me being on the news headlines tomorrow, drunken alcoholic kills girlfriend in crash. I cannot live with that label. So I pulled out my cell phone once again to call her mother. No answer. Thunder beats in my heart with a sharp painful vibration. These tears I shed became deceased as they mixed with the acid rain that now infested my face. I have grown weak and nauseous. And I can see your face now. You were just here with me, just laughing and smiling. Now you're not breathing, not moving, not blinking, and there's no longer soul in that beautiful body of yours. And your spirit just brought to a kingdom along with your God and receives loved one death. I feel as if I'm ashamed. I made my family a disgrace. So I snatched out the dagger side sword out of my leg and I bowed my head and I said amen. I thrust the dagger side sword into my stomach and I lay down next to my baby and I told her, here I come. Thank you.
Judges, let me hear what you got to say about that. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and... All right, so from low to high, we have a 9.3, a 9.5, a 9.6, a 9.8, and a 10. All right, I'm about to bring this last poet up to the stage. They're from MSF. And I want you guys to give a big round of applause to the last poet of the night. Everybody give it up for him. What? Oh. Sorry. All right. All right, so coming up next, we actually got King coming to the stage. Everybody give it up for King.
My name is Deshaun McKinney, and I attend Rufus King High School. The title of my poem is Hussein. My president is black. Peep the power of those words. Every day, he carries 400 years of oppression like a chip on his shoulder. Except now, his voice is the whip. With every speech, it cracks, holding the thunderous authority to leave the Constitution as marks on our flesh. I run my hands over my skin, and I feel the ideals of democracy. Each morning, I shower to water the tree of liberty because now his roots extend from the White House to my house. See, his election did more than change world leaders. It inaugurated entire generations to the reality carried in the arms of dreams. A nation cradling hope for centuries finally decided to release fantasy into its streets and let it roam. Now it roams through the ghettos of Milwaukee to the slums in Detroit, in the minds of little boys and little girls, young men and women, places legitimate success did not know. Now it knows. See, I carry memories, not in my mind, but in my gut. I transpose pictures into raw emotion. Teardrops finally had a reason to let go of eyelids, rolling down cheekbones as if to say, we can rest now. Laughter escaped lips once bound by the high cost of freedom, to visit shackled souls and holding cells deprived of ambition. Symphonic chants gave blinding vision, and the chorus rose above color lines. Notes of white, brown, yellow, and black, I heard equality as a choir, its song carving a new path into the eardrums of this land, and I acknowledge that my president is also white. He is the product when this melting pot cools enough to create a moment in time worth freezing, a vessel worth being. He is the product when this melting pot cools enough to create a moment in time worth freezing, a vessel worth being. Now for those minds who are unable to digest the politics of it all, see it this way. This poem isn't about politics at all. It's about the first superhero to accurately represent our possibilities. Like Iron Man in his boldness, he wears no mask, clad in custom-tailored suits. Maybe I'll be the president for Halloween next year. And since costumes exude our subconscious desires, imagine a city full of sleepers who believe in the grandeur of their dreams, where Langston Hughes soothes misogynist views, where street ciphers decipher established order to translate law and order to inner city coroner, and brown skin recaptures the spirit in its pigment. Imagine a city full of enlightened youth who realize that real lies have revised the vision in our eyes, open wide and look, can you hear me now? America, land of the ingrained stereotype. And to you, Mr. Temporary Black Man in a White House, are you aware of the repercussions of your actions? You had the audacity to infiltrate the capital of the most powerful nation in this world. You wrapped your plan in two cultures, soaked in personality, and lit it all up with hope. Do you understand that young men and women everywhere are now claiming to be a criminal of this genius? Washington is under constant security threat, from domestic terrorist plots concocted underneath curls and nappy afros, hidden beneath tattoos and cornrows, blueprints concealed under the guise of graffiti, and messages coded in a language much more slang than that of the Navajo radio man. Our tongues are as foreign to our representatives as their policies in office are to us. But you hear us, and you understand our words. And even if you never introduce our slang to Washington streets, we still have breathed its air through your lungs. See, my president is white. My president is black. Barack Hussein Obama. Tell me, what's more American than that?
We do have the freedom of press, but when the fox is crying wolf, there's nothing we can Amendment. I question, I debate, I complain. To avoid mundane careerism, I also confess. I've been skipping the scripted classes, shifting my notebook from my desk into the hallways. There are life lessons to be learned here. Influences bounce and shoot off the walls like psychological warfare, but after 14 years, I will not only walk out of here dressed in cap and gown, but be decorated with a million invisible medals for my mentality. Teachers tell me we have the right to a fair trial, but on the streets, everyone is a judge, and as a public school student, I'm guilty till proven innocent, being suffocated by statistics. Scrap the math test. You want proof of my math skills? Here's a word problem. If S8320197 is a member of the 82% getting free or reduced lunch that she only gets 20 minutes to eat, then must run the Spanish for a class of 43 students in a 72 square foot room, what will her estimated GPA be? Without the curve, we are told we may practice any religion, and for some, that means blasting obnoxious song lyrics. Our ambitions so high into the clouds, we must use headphone wires to hold us to the ground. We believe in life beyond fluorescent lighting. In our writing, we preach making a difference in the workplace. Maybe the desktop artists and bathroom stall poets have a deeper meaning in their graffiti, carving their names into the desks so they are remembered as more than just a number. This poem is for the students who couldn't speak to their school board without every other word needing to be censored. Because we have valuable things to say. Because we don't need new computers when attention spans are falling from binders like sleeps. Because we are tired of sipping from coin jar budgets we assemble freely with our voices. The most valuable tool in the school system, and it doesn't matter whether we are Latino, Black, White, or Asian. When kids are complaining about school, they're all speaking the same language. But fear not. When I step into the public, I do not speak poorly of my school system. That would be making me look bad. I'm not just an American. I'm not only a student in MPS. The high hopes of MPS live within me. Thank you. Judges. Thank you. Okay, so from low to high, we have a 9. We have a 9.3, a 9.7, a 9.8, and a 10. Everybody roll that, roll that. All right. Now you want us to prepare to do math over there. Have a quick announcement. All right, so there's this international conference that Stillwater is invited to write poems for. Am I correct? And if you're interested, it is all in these flyers right here. I will leave them up here on this little platform over here. You can come up and get these if you're interested. And let's see. Okay, so I guess I'll do a poem for you guys real quick. It's not finished. But alright. If you want me to be honest, I don't know anything about comics. Not because I'm a girl or nothing like that, but because of the fact that, well, it's too damn complicated. You got the DC comics and the Marvels, which apparently were marvelous enough to catch my attention, and not to mention that I'd be struck down with saying that Spider-Man was a DC character, that Batman's first appearance is in Batman Volume 1, issue number 62, and not 63. Then you gotta remember which heroes were born super, and which ones were big shot by a gamma ray or whatever. I can't keep up with the mutations. Other people know these things seamlessly, but I guess I just didn't stitch as strong as of a comic loving foundation as them. Didn't care enough to give much observation to the radiation, DNA altering medication, which is a clear indication that I know nothing about comics. I didn't collect posters or comic books. Lunchboxes and toys, preserving them in their plastic padded packages to be placed on bedroom bookshelves, because I was always taught that the purpose of a toy was to play with it. I admire it from a distance, and I'd be damned to say that y'all buy and give me a toy that noise that they possess. It's borderline obsession, and why be obsessed with a man who's normal by day and a justified creep by night, lurking in the shadows with a secret identity? I always thought having an identity crisis meant that you were unstable, yet the world finds security in putting their problems in the hands of the feeble. Was Clark Kent bipolar? Does Superman cry? If he did, would his tears be salt watered down steel bullets, or since tears are a sign of weakness, would he cry on kryptonite? If Bruce Wayne without his money is not Batman, then how relevant is Donald Trump without his cash? I have so many questions because I know nothing about comics, more so about why humans created super ones on paper. Are we not good enough to be superheroes for ourselves? I just want to know I'm good enough for the world. Are you guys good enough for me too? That's as far as I can say. Alright. Who's ready to find out who won this thing? Nobody? Yeah. Alright. Coming in fourth with a score of 105 even, we got Washington. Coming in third with a score of 105.6 is MSL. Coming in second with 111.8, we got our home school, Rufus High School. And coming in first with 117.3, we got high school Lawrence, everybody. Alright, before we disperse, everybody share a poem idea with somebody that you never met before.
Judges, please put your boys back to Dr. Taylor, please. Thank you.